Tell me when you see something that makes sound.
I see a speaker, which makes sound.
Google has finally made its comeback with some crazy new AI announcements at Google I/O. This includes Project Astra that can see the world and help you solve day-to-day problems. Next, AI agents that can literally do all of your searching, planning, and brainstorming by connecting search with your Google apps. And then Google's own GenAI for creating AI videos and images that are just as good as Midjourney or Runway ML. And in the end, Gemini AI inside your search, Google apps, and Android phones. In this video, I'll cover all the important announcements and explain you how exactly can they impact us and the way we work. So without further ado, let's get started. Google is all set to bring their AI model Gemini to Google Search, Workspace, and Android phones. Let me first explain you how will Gemini change Google search. The core feature here is that Gemini can now also figure out what is useful to you and then arrange information in a way that is very easy to access and understand. For example, instead of typing something and going through multiple links, you can now put very complicated questions and requests and have Gemini search through the internet to bring you the best results. Because Gemini is multimodal, which means it can understand images, videos, and audio, you can now literally circle anything in an image and have Gemini search it for you. This entire concept comes under AI overviews, where you don't need to waste time searching for data individually or manually. If you've bought something and you want to return it, you can just prompt Gemini to search for the receipt, and it will schedule the pickup and run all of these mundane tasks on autopilot. And I'll cover this bit in the agents demo part. You'll be shocked to see how crazy it is. And it's not just search. They're including this intelligence across all Google apps. So for example, in photos, you can ask things like, what's my license plate number? And Gemini would search through your entire library and figure out which car is yours and then read the plate to give you the exact number. If you ask, when did my child learn to swim? It would go back in time in photos and recognize pictures of your child swimming for the first time and give you the exact date. This essentially gives you access to your own memories in ways that was never possible before. In Gmail, you can search through your inbox and get quick summaries. In Google Meet, you can get minutes and summaries of everything that was mentioned. And it now supports over 68 languages, and I'm sure they will keep adding more. All of these features are already available to a selected group of people subscribed to Google Workspace Labs. Basically, some users get an email from Google asking if they'd be interested in trying out these features before they are released to the rest of the world. But eventually, all of this will be available to everyone in just a few months, so you don't have to worry about that. In fact, you can now have multiple AI tutors go through your study material and explain you concepts using topics that you personally like. So Google has an educational tool called Notebook LM where you can upload your study material. With Gemini inside Notebook LM, you can basically have these realistic AI tutors who can read PDFs and videos and images and then give you detailed explanations on any topic mentioned anywhere in your files.
So let's dive into physics. What's on deck for today?
Well, we're starting with the basics, force and motion.
Okay.
And that, of course, means we have to talk about Sir Isaac Newton and his 3 laws of motion.
Ah, yes, the foundation for understanding how objects move and interact.
Now, it generated this audio discussion based on that text material. And what's amazing is that my son and I can join into the conversation and steer it whichever direction we want. When I tap join.
Hold on, we have a question. What's up, Josh?
Yeah, can you give my son Jimmy a basketball example?
Hey, Jimmy! That's a fantastic idea. Basketball is actually a great way to visualize force and motion. Let's break it down.
Okay, so first, imagine a basketball just sitting there on the court. It's not moving, right? That's because all the forces acting on it are balanced. The downward pull of gravity.
Pretty cool, right?
Now, AI tutors is cool, but this next agent demo completely shook me. You can literally have Gemini do complicated searches and run detailed plans and do tasks for you.
Say you just moved to Chicago. You can imagine Gemini and Chrome working together to help you do a number of things to get ready. organizing, reasoning, synthesizing on your behalf. For example, you will want to explore the city and find services nearby, from dry cleaners to dog walkers. You'll have to update your new address across dozens of websites. Gemini can work across these tasks and will prompt you for more information when needed, so you're always in control. That part is really important as we prototype these experiences. We are thinking hard about how to do it in a way that's private, secure, and works for everyone.
All of this intelligence is becoming possible because of two core strengths of Gemini: multimodality and large context windows. Multimodality, I've already explained that it can read through multiple formats. Large context window means that it can read a lot of data. Context window is calculated in tokens and not words. To make it very simple, one token is almost 4 characters, which means if AI were to read my name, Ansh Mehra, it would use 9 characters, which is almost 2 tokens. Gemini 1.5 Pro has a context window of 2 million tokens, which is massive. Therefore, it can search through a chunk of emails and documents and images simply because of its large capacity. And it's not just fancy gimmicks. They showed how they're using AI at Google DeepMind, which is a research group, and they're using AI for a lot of medical research. Their AlphaFold 3 AI model has been specifically built to solve for diseases and healthcare. Think about it. If this does what it actually promises, we can do so much in the space of education, healthcare, and productivity. These three are the most strong pillars of a well-functioning society. Now, I know a lot of this sounds scary, and I also know that a lot of jobs will be redefined and consolidated. Emphasize on the word redefined and not replaced. See, every 10 years, a revolution happens, and it's our responsibility to make sure that we evolve and adapt. At the end of this video, I'll tell you what I believe should be our game plan for making the most of this new post-AI world. But for now, let me show you the most fascinating demo, which was Project Astra. Now, this demo had 2 parts. Part 1 showed how Gemini could see and speak creatively about everything in front of the lens. It could also detect the location of the user. The craziest part was when she could remember where the user's glasses were, which means it is not only understanding everything around the lens, but also remember context and find meaning of everything that it is seeing.
Let's do some tests. Tell me when you see something that makes sound.
I see a speaker, which makes sound.
What is that part of the speaker called?
That is the tweeter. It produces high-frequency sounds.
Give me a creative alliteration about these.
Creative crayons color cheerfully. They certainly craft colorful creations.
What does that part of the code do?
This code defines encryption and decryption functions. It seems to use AES-CBC encryption to encode and decode data based on a key and an initialization vector, IV.
That's right. What neighborhood do you think I'm in?
This appears to be the King's Cross area of London. It is known for its railway station and transportation connections.
Do you remember where you saw my glasses?
Yes, I do. Your glasses were on the desk near a red apple.
This is a direct competitor to OpenAI's GPT-4o, which we covered in our yesterday's video. If you haven't seen that, I'll paste the link in description. Even GPT has lifelong memory, and it makes sense because you would eventually want AI to know more about you as time passes by. Let me know in the comment section if you think this is a great feature, or would you rather not have AI know everything about you. The second demo showed Gemini solving problems with the user in real time without any delays. It was almost like having an expert in real time on a video call with you.
What can I add here to make this system faster?
Adding a cache between the server and database could improve speed.
What does this remind you of?
Schrodinger's cat.
right, give me a band name for this duo.
Golden Stripes.
Nice. Thanks, Gemini.
Imagine what this will become once it is introduced to the Apple Vision Pro or the Meta Quest or any kind of Google Glasses in general. Because this can take education and training to a whole new level. They also showed an example of someone figuring out how to use a player and watch what happens.
Why will this not stay in place? And in a near instant, Google gives me an AI overview. I get some reasons this might be happening and steps I can take to troubleshoot. So looks like first, this is called a toner, very helpful. And it looks like it may be unbalanced, and there's some really helpful steps here. And I love that because I'm new to all this, I can check out this helpful link from Audio Technica to learn even more.
I've said this in a previous GPT-4o video as well. This tech will fundamentally change both customer care and in-person shopping experiences forever. Because instead of speaking to a sales representative, you can just pull out your phone and ask whatever you want. And it's not just about search. Google has finally revealed their generative AI models where they can create images and videos that look super real. The image model is called Imagen 3. The video model is called Veo, which can create high quality 1080p videos. Again, a huge competitor to OpenAI Sora and Runway ML. When it comes to AI videos, consistency and coherence play a huge role. Consistency means that the visual style must remain intact and that there should not be any glitches or weird color flashes or objects melting into each other. Coherence means how accurate was the result when compared to the prompt. If you get everything you prompted for and if it all looks in place and logical, we say that the output is highly coherent. They also announced Music AI Sandbox, which was creating some really good music. In fact, Google I/O started with a live demo of an artist creating AI music in real time. In fact, in every ad or demo that they had around this segment, I could see Google trying to make people understand that artists are going to be the biggest customers of AI. But to become customers of AI, artists need to learn AI and figure out where it can come into their day-to-day workflows. That's why I've been making these videos so consistently. Because for us, for students and professionals and actually everyone, it's extremely important that we become aware and upskill ourselves with this new technology. To make life even more seamless, they're introducing these AI agents that are called GEMs. Because they sort of come from Gemini. Yeah, pretty smart naming. I have to give them credit. GEMs are going to be your own personal assistants that can search, write, create, and even save their work in your Google Drive, or they could paste stuff in your Google Documents or even your Sheets. All you need to do is tell a gem what is its role, and all your gems would start working in parallel. Now, it's important to understand that what do we do if everything is being done with AI? To be honest, the world is changing so fast that I can only tell you what to focus on for the next 3 months. And we've discussed these 3 skill sets again and again. But if you're here for the first time, let me share you what you should focus on. Firstly, instead of being a specialized executor, which means that if you're just specializing in learning tools and languages and just following checklists, then you need to consider becoming a T-shaped generalist. Not a normal generalist, because a generalist is just a person who knows a bit about everything. A T-shaped generalist means you find one specific domain and get end-to-end expertise or whatever expertise is possible in your specific time frame, but also start exploring complementary fields. Which means don't say, I will just code, or I will just design, or I will just manage. Find one field of subject. It could be design, marketing, sales, finance, development, or management. But use AI to learn complementary subjects around your core specialization. For example, I studied engineering, but I switched to product design. But I never restricted myself to just being an isolated designer. I learned how to write better, or speak clearly, or edit videos, design posters, learn copywriting, and even content creation. Similarly, if you're a tech product manager, learn the basics of wireframing or basics of information architecture. Because with AI, all you need to know are the first principles and the relevant trends. After knowing your first principles and trends, you can prompt with the right context and constraints in no time. Second, make sure that you're taking utmost care of your mental and physical health. And I am guilty of this mistake myself. At times when I make these videos late night, I often skip going to the gym. In my own personal life, I keep getting stressed out. So I also regularly keep reminding myself that it is so important to keep your mental and physical health at the top priority. It is second on this list, but I would personally recommend you to keep this on your top priority. Third, please improve your writing and speaking skills. All of these tools require you to either speak clearly or write clearly. Now, I won't go too deep into these 3 skill sets because I've already made multiple sessions on these. You'll find everything on howtoprompt.in or in my AI Masterclasses playlist on YouTube. Next, we saw Gemini for workspaces. Basically, AI can help you write, visualize, and organize. And I'll explain you what this means. There's going to be a side panel in all of your apps that can go really deep into your emails and files and actually help you reply to even complicated email queries. In fact, this one demo showed how Gemini could travel across apps to find receipts from your email, make a drive folder to save the PDFs, and also create an Excel sheet to analyze all of your expenses. Imagine the amount of time it would have taken you or your CA or anybody in your family to conduct all of these things. In the end, they spoke about how only Android is going to have all of these Project Astra features built in. They're introducing a new mode called Live, which would help you use Astra on a day-to-day basis. But what's more special is that all of this AI processing is going to happen locally on your phone, and they're calling this as Gemini Nano, which means Android is going to be the first mobile operating system to include a built-in on-device AI. In fact, it can literally detect even scam calls in real time. Watch how Gemini wants this user during a potential scam call.
Hello?
Hi, I'm calling from Safemore Bank Security Department. Am I speaking to Dave?
Yeah, this is Dave. Kind of in the middle of something.
We've detected some suspicious activity on your account. It appears someone is trying to make unauthorized charges.
Oh yeah, what kind of charges?
I can't give you specifics over the phone, but to protect your account, I'm going to help you transfer your money to a secure account we've set up for you.
And look at this. My phone gives me a warning that this call might be a scam.
Now, because this is multimodal and inside our phones, stuff like deepfake video calls or AI images will be detected very easily. All social media apps and devices would easily detect AI generated content. If your software or hardware is updated, you don't need to worry. But I also recognize the fact that there are so many people who do not update their phones, who are not on social media, who don't have the latest phones. For them, 100% it's going to be very difficult to detect AI generated content. Now, it makes complete sense why Google and Apple are in close talks with each other. I'm pretty sure you all have seen that picture. Google has made such a good decision of not copying everybody else and realizing that their strength lies in search and workspaces. By focusing on being better at what they already knew, they've created a whole new way of us interacting with all of their tools. Which brings us back to this amazing quote that I regularly share, that better is better than new. Instead of innovating for doing something crazy good, Google sat down and saw whatever they had in store and just made it 10 times better. So they're doing what every other AI company is doing and more because they own all the major apps in the tech space. I was just wondering, what if next year all of these people on stage are just replaced by their AI holograms? In fact, I was wondering if their accessibility interpreter, who was working so hard translating the event in real time, was also wondering if he could be replaced with Gemini. Because technically, even Gemini could have watched this stream and created a real-time video translating everything without any latency. And I'm filled with so many questions and so many doubts. And to be honest, I also need some time to digest and figure out what should students do next. But don't worry, I will get solid answers very soon. Honestly, it'll be fun to see what happens in the next 3 months. They've surely given a tough competition to OpenAI. Comment below which was your most favorite demo. And do you think iOS will have all of these features as well? Because Google repetitively said that all of this cool stuff is just for Android. So what will Apple do to catch up? I guess we'll find it very, very soon. If you're here for the first time, make sure you click on subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. We've already created multiple free AI masterclasses on how to prompt.in and free product design courses on learnuiux.in. You'll find all the links in description. With that being said, I hope that you're taking care of your mind and body. This is your dost Ansh Mehra signing out.